Is Lewis Smith and Dropship Unlocked a scam exposed? My honest review and the price. If you're interested in starting a high-ticket dropshipping business in the UK and you've done your research, you'll know there's not many courses out there. 90% of the courses are AliExpress, Obolo dropshipping course, selling cheap rubbish from China that takes 2 weeks to arrive. After tons of research, I only found 2 UK-specific courses. One is Dropship Unlocked by Lewis Smith and the other is Dropship Formula by Simon Vernon. More on that later. Both, as I discovered, were previous students of Anton Kraly's Dropship Lifestyle. Don't bother with this course as it's for the US. Who claim to have found success in the UK and have now started their own courses. Actually, Lewis doesn't tell you he's learned his trade from Dropship Lifestyle, but I found this out when researching Lewis. Anton uses Lewis's photo and review to try and claim his program works in the UK. Yeah, right, Anton. So, as I was saying, if you've ever shown any interest in UK high-ticket dropshipping, you might have just seen an advertisement from Lewis who claims to give the UK entrepreneurs a step-by-step plan to launch and scale a location-independent e-commerce business. So, I eagerly signed up for this free training, funneled to be more precise. To keep this as brief as possible, I'll just give you a rundown on how Lewis's funnel works. You sign up for his free training on a page that claims to have limited seating. I'm not sure how this works as it's a pre-recorded video that goes through how not to sell cheap products from China, etc., and how selling higher prices products is the new way to go. After the training, Lewis does this pitch for his Dropship Unlocked program and asks you to schedule a meeting with him to discuss further. No mention of a price, what's in his program, or any student success stories. Just a pitch that if you want to succeed in the business, you need a mentor and to have a meeting with him so he can tell you that he's the man for the job. So I did just that. I scheduled a meeting and eagerly waited my appointment. In brief, it's a high-ticket sales funnel where he asks you a set of well-orchestrated and structured questions from his well-structured sales scripts and then uses your answers back at you to give you the feeling that he's answered all your questions. Then, the big sell. I don't know if this was the price tag just for me, as it's not written down or shown anywhere, but I was given a price of £3,000, then left to hang. I'm guessing that lesser people feel the silence as a pressure point to sign up, and I wanted to do a bit more research on Lewis before I made any kind of commitment, as at the time there was no testimonials from his students, no reviews anywhere, not a mention of him or his program. On reflection, I found that the whole thing was a bit desperate and opportunist. You can tell he's a bright guy, he knows what he's doing, but as I'm a little bit more thick-skinned than most, I saw things for what they are, a sales funnel, rather than the psychology used to push you into buying. So I declined his offer and decided to do a little bit more research. Who is Lewis Smith? The first thing I found was Lewis's official Facebook page. It has a whopping 5,100 likes, which came as a bit of a shock, seeing as I couldn't find one person talking about him or his course anywhere on the internet. But when you dig a bit deeper, you see that the vast majority of those likes are from individuals outside of the UK. From a quick scan of the likes on recent posts, nearly all of them were people from Nigeria, India, Zambia. So he's gone out and purchased these likes to make himself look better than he is and give foolish people a sense of social proof so he can be falsely trusted. The next thing I found was a YouTube video of Lewis from a conference in Thailand called the Nomad Summit. Lewis gives a talk about how he created freedom through online retail and more specifically high-ticket dropshipping. It's actually well presented, and just like his sales pitches, it was well orchestrated and structured. Based on watching this video, my options were starting to change about Lewis. That was until I researched more on this Nomad Summit and its creator, Johnny FD. What I turned over next blew my mind. It turns out Johnny FD is a very good friend of Anton Kraly and made most of his fame and money promoting Anton Kraly's Dropship Lifestyle as an affiliate. A lot of which he received very negative comments about in the online community for selling the digital nomad dream in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It also transpires that Johnny FD also has a very bad reputation in the digital nomad sphere, not only in Chiang Mai, Thailand for pushing dropship lifestyle on everyone he meets, but also for the fact he was a professional pickup artist, calling himself Johnny Wolf not too long before he became friends with Anton. He's accused online of manipulating women in his past and then turning those skills into his affiliate marketing work with Anton Kraly and Dropship Lifestyle. Anyway, all this started to give me a bad feeling about Lewis Smith and his £3,000 price tag, and seeing him endorsed by Johnny FD turned me right off. The next thing I uncovered was that Lewis Smith was actually a student of Anton Kraly's Dropship Lifestyle, something that he doesn't declare anywhere, or from what I can't find, he doesn't. I know this as Lewis's review of Dropship Lifestyle is posted on Anton's blog, and so is a speech Lewis did at one of his retreats too. This triangle of people didn't really sit well with me. I'm not sure if Lewis was an affiliate of Anton at some point and decided to go it alone, but seeing these three names all tied together really did just give me a bad feeling. So I turned my attention to Dropship Formula by Simon Vernon. Dropship Formula by Simon Vernon. Much like Lewis, I couldn't find a massive amount of information on Simon and his Dropship Formula program, except for an interview he's done with a student of his program. It's actually quite a decent interview, albeit a bit amateur as the camera seems to have issues keeping focus. Simon comes across quite genuine, and you can tell his answers aren't rehearsed or scripted, and he has the experience of dropshipping and people, which interested me a bit more, to be honest. He was a coach for Dropship Lifestyle a few years ago, but it happens that he left that role after about a year. From reading between the lines from the Dropship Lifestyle Facebook group, it appears all but one coach left at the same time. I can only guess it was related to do with something that they didn't like about Anton Kraly, or the way he does business, but that's just a guess. As for his course, well, that's a different story. The Dropship Formula website looks slick, professional, which you'd expect, but the biggest difference is it has all the information on it that you're actually getting, plus testimonials from his students. All the course sections are listed, even the modules and lessons can be found on a sub-page, a bit like Dropship Lifestyle, really. The biggest thing that struck me was the price. It's there too. It's currently being sold at £897 on the main website. But if you go through Simon's funnel and masterclass, you can currently get the course for £597. The only way, though, to enrol that way is to either find one of his old links in his public Facebook groups, that's what I did, or by being shown one of his ads and signing up that way. That way you can get the discounted price. I've added a few links below for anyone interested, not an affiliate link. A fraction of the £3,000 price tag, Lewis quoted me, and seeing as he and Lewis were both students of Anton Kraly's program, I'd expect them to be quite similar. I even compared Simon's modules and lessons to Dropship Lifestyle. And while there are similarities, I must say Simon's content actually goes quite a bit deeper in areas that really matter. Most notable, the paid advertising for Google and Bing. So to conclude, if you're thinking about joining or researching Lewis Smith and his Dropship Unlocked course, think again. Not even Anton Kraly charges that kind of price tag, and his program has been around for over 6 years, and that's where he learnt his trade in the first place. Lewis is fresh out of the blocks, he doesn't know what he's offering, and there's no kind of proof for long-term success. There's no students, not even a breakdown of what's included. It's a definite no from me, I'm out. Dropship Formula, on the other hand, gave me a totally different feel. There's plenty of student reviews on the website, his public Facebook group has endorsements, and others speaking highly of the program. So much so, I decided to hand over 597 hard-earned British pounds to Simon and put my faith in his formula. I'll follow up soon with a more detailed review, but so far, from the content that I've managed to digest, it looks very promising. It's a cheaper price than Dropship Lifestyle and is from a UK person, so it will have that UK specifics included, and most of all, it's not £3,000.